This video is sponsored by Squarespace, but more on them later. The first time I saw a Higround keyboard was the 100 Thieves collab, and I wasn't impressed at all. The case was super plasticky, cheap feeling, exactly like a GK61, except the price was like 3 times as much. But they've learned from all their previous keyboards, and their in-stock keyboard is finally out. It's called the Basecamp series, and there's 4 colors: Snowstone, Lava Rock, Skystone, and Bonsai. These names sound like they could be blocks in Minecraft, and that's pretty cool. They all come at the same price of $135, and unlike previous drops, it doesn't come with a jelly bag or a mouse pad, but that keeps the price lower, so I'm not complaining. They sent me over the Bonsai keyboard, which is all white with a olive green all over print. So let's see what the hubbub's all about, shall we? So the box came a little bit mangled. The mail obviously did not treat this box very well. The box looks the same as ever, except now it has this TTC white flame switches, and it really doesn't even say the name except here. Bonsai 68 key, all over print. Let's open it up. Look better up here. It's pretty nice since, you know, it's Higround, so you're looking from high ground. From instruction manual, so you could change all the RGB. I actually like the RGB it comes with, and it is hot swappable. And then the keyboard, it did come in like some kind of PE foam wrapping, but I took it out. So it has 2 pullers and a USB-C cable. It is braided. I would use it if I didn't have a cable already. It looks good with the keyboard. Keycap puller of all time. Who doesn't like this keycap puller? But the switch puller, this thing's an abomination. I would never use this. You just have to go and then you break your fingers because, well, it's not super ergonomic, so I wouldn't use this. But the keycap puller is great. Thank goodness you don't have to hot swap anything because it already has switches inside it. So the keyboard looks nice, right? So it looks like an acrylic Tofu 65, except a bit lighter weight and cheaper since it's already a fully built keyboard. And whatever switches these are, I dig them. They're pretty good. They're pre-lubed, no spring ping, and it looks like they're called the White Flame switches, designed by TTC and Higround. They sound great, and they're lightweight enough for gaming, and I can't understand why anyone would want heavy gaming switches. Here are the stats of the switch if you care. 1.6mm actuation, 3.6mm total travel, and 45 grams of downward force. Pretty typical, sort of a speed switch. It's nice. It's pretty deep sounding. Higround beeping test. Moment you've all been waiting for. What's really cool about Higround is that they're a combination between gamer and bougie. It's not like super bright RGB, but it's got great RGB and classy looking keycaps, so it doesn't just scream gamer. So let's go use it. So it's good stuff. It sounds really good. There's just something about acrylic cases, it just makes me love it. It's a nice and deep sound without the high-pitched plastic. And for you custom keyboard users out there, it probably won't be super impressive or anything. There's no bouncy gasket, flexy feel or anything like that. It's got an aluminum plate, so the typing feel is sort of stiff, but it's not bad. I would put it as a direct competitor with the Ducky 1.3 Mini in price and overall specs and performance. So let's take it apart. Let's take it apart, see what the insides look like, and then put it back together. It doesn't need any modifications at all. It sounds great. So switches look great. Sort of a box design. Stabilizers, I'm not seeing much lube going on here, but the stabilizers are pretty tight onto the plate. Maybe I could use more lube, but since I use it for gaming, I don't want it to gunk up and then be slow. Keycaps are off. Comes out. Unless I have to take off all the switches, which I'm not doing that. That just come out. Alright, change of plans. It is not take apartable. I'm sure it is if I just pulled out all the switches, but I don't think I need to. But I can tell you right now, it's got north facing hot swap sockets, and it doesn't have the orange PCB anymore. because it's white now. And it's got a really thick layer of silicone in between the plate and the PCB. And that's where a lot of the sound dampening comes in, and you don't hear a lot of beep, 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 beep. Oh, it sounds great. Everything's pre-lubed. You don't feel nasty lube everywhere when you take it apart. I'm going to put it back together and I'm going to do a lot of gaming with it. Here is the Higround website, all $135. This is what I have. And let's look at the specs. So 65% arrow keys right there, delete is right there. It's got software. I'm not going to download it, but it's got software. You can if you want. Acrylic frame right here. It says milky translucent. I really think it's acrylic. Hot swap, north facing though. Nice keycaps, aluminum plate. So silicone dampening foam in between the layers and on the bottom too. So it's got side print, flame switches, RGB macro programming. I haven't done any of that. So they are pre-lube switches, linear switch, very gamer, and they don't really give you pictures of the silicone, but people like it. You can see pictures of their silicone from this keyboard. And this one is orange, but it's like this layer right here. And then I believe this one also has a layer on the bottom. But if you do want to see it taken apart, there are plenty of reviews on YouTube that you can check out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to dig it out, but that's okay, because I like it the way it is. So there's only a few things I would add, but that's really just preference. I would add some kick-up feet, maybe change the height a little bit, and add an option to have an acrylic wrist rest and let the RGB just flow out of there. Like the Monster Gear wrist rest, that would just be so good looking as a combo. Personally, I would never use this keyboard without a wrist rest, especially if you're gaming. Your wrist is just gonna do some crazy stuff and it's gonna hurt eventually. So far, it's pretty good. There's no key chatter, there's no broken switches. Sometimes when I game a lot on a keyboard, either the A or D key will stop working and then it'll just mess up while I'm strafing and then I die. So I'm glad that's not happening here yet, but it's only been like a couple weeks. The switches are lightweight too, no pinky fatigue if I need to shift walk or crouch, although I don't crouch too often. With all the features and the nice sound, I think this is gonna be my exclusive gaming keyboard moving forward for the time being, until I find a low profile one that I like. I've really been wanting to try out low profile keyboards for the long term and just see what that feels like. So if you are interested in checking out the Higround Basecamp series, I'll link it down below. There's pretty cool colors. Honestly, I didn't know what I was expecting when I said, yeah, go ahead, send it over, but it's really impressive and I really dig it. It's classy, it's nice, and the case, the sound is just, it's pretty good. You don't have to mod anything. I think that's the best part. Squarespace gives people a way to build a beautiful website without any hassle. There are many different pathways that you can take after making your website. One of them is doing a members only community with special content you make just for your audience. Or you can make it completely open to anybody through blogging with images and text. Another is to make a store with inventory and analytics to track your traffic and sales and make a chicken moolah. You can also use Squarespace to showcase your business like an online business card. Maybe you're a PC builder, or you're a keyboard builder, or you're a gaming coach and you want to show off testimonials, who you are, what you're about, prices, etc. You can do all of that on Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/switch and click to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, and check out my website at prettykeyboards.com. Made it with Squarespace.